Good morning. How you guys doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey guys. Okay, so before I get into the video, give a sister a thumb up. Hit the subscribe button. All right. This is going to be a very sad video. I saw a video a few days ago that really broke my heart, and I want to share it with those of you who have not seen the video. It's a very disturbing video, and I really have to talk about this. Very disturbing, very disturbing. If anybody watched this video and don't get sad after watching this video, I don't know, maybe you guys don't have any soul, okay? When I first saw the video, I actually thought it was fake, because there are a lot of people out here who are doing these fake videos and posting them online just to get some social media, fame and likes and views and whatever. So, but unfortunately, the video is very real. The young lady in the video, she did an interview with a gentleman, and so she was able to sit down and talk about what's really going on. So anyway, I'm going to share the video with you guys, and for those of you who have not seen it, so you guys can watch it. Okay, there are some foul language, so but it is very real. All right, so let me just go ahead and share my screen.
Only cause your insecure ass got the nigga cheating on you, bitch, don't mean I want him, ho. I don't want shit to do with a nigga you fuck with, or you ever, your pussy mouth, or anything ever been on, bitch. I am your daughter, you slow, insecure, dumb, retarded ass, bitch. You slow, ho. You slow. Bitch, you slow. You slow. Bitch, you slow. Bitch, you slow. Bitch, you slow. Bitch, you slow. Oh, you insecure, you slow. You a fat. You are your friends. All your friends. All your friends. You all your friends. Ain't nothing to post my nigga dick. Ain't nothing to post this shit. I heard you said, bitch. You said. You said. No, I said. Hold on, close it up. No, so who? I ain't from at the F did something towards you. Right your name. None. We have ever fucked anybody that you ever fucked. We have ever fucked the dick. We have ever did anything. You said it first. You said it. You know me. You know more about my nigga than me. So, how you know more about my nigga? I got that every hoe. You suck every dick that she needs. Damn, I didn't think that's her dog. Damn, I didn't think that so. I didn't think that so. Let me tell you another dick and stuff. Let me tell you another dick and stuff. You said. Now you holding on to this. You holding on to this. Let me tell you another dick and stuff. Crash back all you on the stuff. Everybody from hustle. I got that all the hoes. I see what your ass ain't with nowhere. Everything hoes. So they don't stop hustling from me. I don't got you hoes. These niggas they got you suck out me. This the only thing, bitch. She blamed me for every fucking thing that happened for her. Every fucking relationship. Every all that. Do y'all hear this? How sad she is. This is why my mentality is so fucked up. Yeah, you wanna know why? Cause we constantly living that home with bitches like this. Yes, the world needs to know. Yes, the world needs to wake up. These black mothers out here raising with this pathetic ass mindset. These damn black women out here fucking harming us. These black women out here fucking look at this mindset. I raised my bitch with this type of mindset. And y'all wonder why these females out here the way they is. Y'all wonder. Show them. Y'all wonder why anybody that's born between the ages of 1996 to the 2000s. Y'all wonder why these little guys like this. Y'all wonder why these females like this. Y'all wonder I'm 21 years old. I'm 21 years old. That has been blaming me since I was 7. Since I was 7 years old. About fucking niggas. That shit been bringing around me since so young.
Wow. Now, if anybody can watch that and whew, just give me a second there. Let me hold it together. That was very disturbing. In case you guys don't know what's going on in that video, that was a mother and a daughter. That was a mother and a daughter in that video. And I'm not going to play the video again because it is very disturbing to me. Very disturbing. According to the daughter, the mother has been treating her like that since she was about 7 years old. She's been bringing men around the house, strange man. She's been accusing her daughter since she was about 7 years old of having sex with her men that she brings in the house. Whew. Let me hold it together. Now, there is, it is very difficult for me to understand some of the things that she's saying because she has a very heavy accent. But I sat down and I watched an interview that she did with a gentleman, and her mom is somewhere around, I believe it was 42 or 45 years old, and the mother has 3 children. I believe she's the youngest, not sure, I believe she is the youngest. Her grandmother, which is her mom's mom, she said was on crack cocaine. And so the mother was the one that raised her siblings. So what this appeared to be is that this is a generation of dysfunction that is being brought down in this family, just from generation to generation. Her mom clearly is suffering from mental illness. Her mother's mother, which is her grandmother, she was on crack. So clearly there was some type of psychological, mental instability there. And who knows what the great-grandmother went through. So this is clearly generational dysfunction that has been passed down through this family. And now this young lady is clearly suffering from mental illness. Clearly she is. And in that interview that she did with the gentleman, she mentioned that she didn't have any children. And I was so happy that she said that, because there's no way I advocate for a woman like her having children. She never have children until she get herself together. I cannot imagine that type of relationship with my mother. I can't. I'm speechless. Watching the video a few days ago, I was left speechless. I cannot imagine that type of relationship with my mother. My mom lives in Jamaica, okay? She's back home. And whenever I go home to Jamaica to visit my mom, I'm like her big baby. I go and I can go sit her in her lap, and I can rest my head in her bosom, and we play and we laugh. And my mom is one of the most affectionate person that I know. Very playful, very fun loving, very affectionate. So I just cannot imagine. I can't relate. I don't know. I don't understand what it's like to grow up in that type of environment. That is a very toxic and dysfunctional environment to grow a child in. And when a young woman is raised in this type of environment, 9 times out of 10, she's going to grow up with mental illness. She's going to grow up with mental illness because the mother is suffering from some type of mental problem. Clearly, she has the personality of a 5-year-old. I mean, you guys saw the video. It's like talking to a child. I can't imagine growing up in a home like that. I cannot. I cannot. And she needs to get the hell out of there. She needs to get the hell out of there. That young woman needs to get the hell out of that environment. Can you imagine her getting into a relationship with a man, a woman like that, a young woman like that cannot maintain a stable relationship. She can't. If she gets into any relationship with a man, that relationship would be just complete chaos and dysfunction, just complete chaos and dysfunctional situation that will go on in that relationship. There's no way. And if she ever bring a child into this world, that poor child will never make it. Will never make it. That poor child will suffer. I mean, I am speechless. I'm speechless. I cannot. I can't. I can't relate. I cannot relate. But I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. And a lot of you young black women, a lot of you young black women have either gone through this or is still going through this. A lot of you young black women, unfortunately, are being raised by monsters. Now, am I saying that this is only happening in the black household? No, that's not what I'm saying. This is happening in a lot of households, black, white, whatever. Okay. But as a black woman, I have to speak on it. This is relating to my people, and this is very real in my community, and I have to speak on it. This is very sad. This young woman was born and raised in a very toxic environment, and I don't even know if she'll be able to move out and get out on her own and create a functional life for herself, because she's clearly suffering from psychological problems. I don't know if she'll be able to go out there and make it on her own. She's completely dependent on her mother. As toxic as that environment is, she's completely dependent on that woman. And 9 times out of 10, she won't leave that environment. She won't. She won't. Because she can't manage on her own. She's screwed up. She's screwed up. And that's why I advocate against a woman like her having children. And if she gets into a relationship, that relationship is going to be completely toxic. Completely toxic. I just cannot see. Now, this is what you guys need to work on. You see, we need to fix the problem at home. You see, this is the type of shit that y'all black folks need to be talking about. Y'all need to come together and fix. Okay? We're out here crying about all kind of shit. And this right here, my grandmother used to say, old folks back in the Caribbean used to say, you have to learn to dance a yard before you go abroad. Okay? You got to fix home first. You got to fix home first. You got to take care of home. You got to learn to fix what's going on in the home before you can try to fix anything else that's going on at home. Okay? And clearly, I've spoken to a lot of people. Listen, about a year ago, I met a young lady in the Bronx. Okay? I just met her, just random young woman, young black woman I met on the street. And we were standing there for about half hour talking to one another, right? And she told me that she was taking medication for depression and anxiety. And I asked her, why are you depressed? Why are you suffering from anxiety? And she didn't know. She didn't know. She had no idea. And so the longer we talked, we stood there. We were there for almost 2 hours, just talking. And the longer we stood there and talked, the more I was able to understand what's going on with this young lady. So eventually she was able to open up, and she told me that when she was about 5 years old, she was raped by someone in her family. And she went and told her mother. And her mother, the woman who was supposed to be her protector, who's supposed to be her everything, her mother chased her away. Tell her to get away from here. You're lying. I don't believe you. 5 years old. Her mom did not believe her. So not only was she sexually violated by someone, a family member, her own mother violated her as well by completely disregarding her. And a few years later, I believe she said she was about 14 years old. Again, it happened to her by someone else. And I don't remember if she said she told her mother about this particular incident at 14, but um, her mom passed away later on. And unfortunately, this young woman never had a chance to confront her mother when she got older, and never got a chance to confront her and talk about this and try to come to some type of resolution about what happened to her as a child. So her mom passed away, and she's now on medication for mental illness, right? And so the cycle is going to continue. And unfortunately, if she ever gets into a relationship and have children, the cycle is going to continue, because there's no way a woman like that um, can rear a child when she's suffering from this you know dysfunction, when her life is dysfunctional. You cannot raise children in that type of environment. So here she is. She's suffering from mental illness. She's on medication. And a lot of you young black women out here, and black men as well, are going through this or have gone through this with um, with the person who raised you. So what we have here is a young woman who was raised by a monster. I hate to say it, but that's what it is. We have a young woman who was raised by a monster and is still around this monster. And unless she get away from this person, she'll always be in this state of confusion and dysfunction. She got to get away from this woman. She got to go get away from this woman. You cannot stay around somebody like this. So, listen, sisters, I'm talking to you, black women, sisters, and brothers who have gone through this. We have got to come to a place of healing. You got to come to a place of healing. You can't walk around with this. You cannot walk around with this type of toxicity, this type of dysfunction. You have got to find a way. You have got to go see a professional. You have got to go find help to come to a place of healing. You can't walk around with this type of emotional dysfunction bottled up inside of you. You got to let it out. You got to talk to somebody. You got to find a community and fix this. It can be fixed slowly. It's not going to happen overnight. Slowly, you can fix this, but this cannot go on. We have got to, our priorities are messed up, man. Our priorities are messed up. Our priorities are all messed up. We got to fix home first. We got to fix home. Home is dysfunction. There's a lot of dysfunction in the home, and we got to fix home first before we can fix anything else. That was very disturbing and emotional for me. It is. I know I'm all over the place, but that video when I first saw it was very disturbing to watch. A mother. That poor young woman says her mom has been treating her like that since she was 14 years old. I mean, 7 years old. 7 years old. She's been going through this since she was a baby, a child. A 7-year-old is a baby. Okay. Accusing her of sleeping with men at 7, with the men that, and did you hear the languages that comes out of that mother's mouth? Did you hear the languages? Accusing her daughter of sucking her man's dick. Are you kidding me? And she's been doing this to her daughter since the daughter was 7 years old. I cannot imagine that type of relationship with my mother. I cannot. So you sisters, when you come on my videos, right? I did a video about Kamala Harris, and I did another video about something else, and I see a lot of you, I think that was the ADOS video. A lot of you black women came under the video and you were very angry and bitter, and I understand it. Listen, I make it my duty to understand the nature of my people, okay? I make it my duty to understand the nature of my people. And I also make it my duty to understand the nature of my enemies, my oppressors, okay? I make it my duty. So when I see black women being dysfunctional and angry and bitter. I can't relate, but I understand because I understand the nature of my people. I understand the history of my people. I understand what my people have gone through. I understand the abuse that my people have gone through since the history in this country, okay, since we were placed on slave ship and shipped all over the place. Okay, I understand. That's not something that we can just break out of if we don't get some type of help. Okay, and a lot of us we don't get help. We don't get help, and so the dysfunction just recycle itself from generation to generation to generation. And that's what's going on in our community. It's just a generational dysfunction that has just been passed down from generation to generation. And we have got to figure out a way somehow to stop being enemies to one another and fix ourselves. We have to fix ourselves because who else is going to do it? We have everybody else around us trying to destroy us. Everyone else, every other group, every other race around us, they hate us. They're trying to destroy us. And here we are. Here we are. Look at this. We have a mother and a daughter in the home destroying each other. If we're not there for one another, then who the hell is going to be? We got to break this cycle. We got to break the cycle. We can't do this. A woman, a person who is supposed to be the protector of a child. Our children are out here being raised by monsters. That is shameful. That video was extremely shameful to watch. Very shameful and sad. At the beginning of the video, when I first saw the video, I was like, this is another one of those ratchet video that they fake video. And at the very end, I began to wonder, wow, this has to be real. There's no way I could feel the pain in that young lady's voice. I could see it in her face. And unfortunately, the damn video is real. It's a very real video. And I was able to sit and watch the interview that young lady did with another young man on YouTube. And this is very real. And this is very real for a lot of my sisters. Very real for a lot of you. You guys are going through this. You guys have gone through this. And when do we break the cycle? When does Black mothers? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a solution for this. I really don't. I don't. Professional help. Professional help. From people who can help you psychologically. That's the only way. And the division among us is not helping. The division among your fellow sisters, whether you were born here in America or anywhere else. Black women are very divided. A lot of us are very divided. We got to stop this. That's a mother and a daughter in a toxic environment. Now, before I end this video, let me say this again. I do not advocate for a woman like this young lady here to give birth to a child, any child at all. I don't. And I pray to God she never have a child as long as she's suffering from mental illness. If she doesn't get help, if she doesn't seek help to help her come to a place of healing, I would never suggest that she gets into a relationship and have a child, okay? Because that child will come here in this world and that child will go to the same suffering that she's going through. And she can never maintain a relationship with any man, ever. Not as long as she's mentally ill. She has to get help. She has to get help. And a lot of you young women, a lot of you young Black women, y'all gotta get help for your mental illness. A lot of you guys are suffering from depression and anxiety, and you don't know why, right? A lot of you guys have gone through shit like this in the past, right? With family members, your mom or someone else, or multiple people have hurt you, and you're now suffering from mental illness. You're now suffering from depression and anxiety and a whole bunch of mental illness. You're on medication for mental illness, and somehow you don't realize that your past has a lot to do with what you are now suffering from, which is mental illness. You haven't connected the two, because that young lady that I spoke to in the Bronx, she had no idea that her mental illness is connected to the things that she went through in the past. The disconnect from her mother, the abuse from her own mother, the abuse, the sexual assault from family members, from grown folks as a baby, right? She had no idea that any of that was connected to her mental illness. So a lot of you guys are not putting the pieces together, okay? So you need professional help to help you figure out, to help you put the pieces together and come to a place of healing, my sisters and my brothers, and a lot of you men too. A lot of you women are living in the house with a brother who has who have a mother like this, right? Who grew up with a mother like this, who was a goddamn monster. And now you're living in a house with a man who is creating a toxic environment for you sisters. And a lot of you brothers are living in a home with a woman who's creating a toxic environment for you, right? Because she had a monster for a mother, you see? So it's a cycle. It's a generational cycle, right? We got to break it. We got to break it. We got to get help. A lot of you guys have too much pride. That's another problem among us in the Black community. We are filled with pride and we refuse to ask for help. Man, ask for help. You got to go get out there and seek help. Go see a psychiatrist. Go see a counselor. Go see somebody who can help you get over these things, because we cannot continue to live with this bottled up inside of us. It's going to drive us crazy, and we certainly cannot bring children in this type of toxic, dysfunctional environment. We can't. We cannot. It's very selfish to bring children in this world under this condition. We cannot. Okay? So the only thing I'm asking you guys to do is go seek help. Seek help. There's help out there. Okay? You can go seek a counselor. Go talk to a psychiatrist. Do something. But you can't continue to live this way. This poor young lady is suffering. She's not quite there. She's not there. She's not there at all. You can tell from the video that she is not there. But anyway, pardon me for being all over the place, but that video really it really hurt me to the core. Really did. It really just stir up some. Whew, wow. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. All right? Give me a thumbs up, guys. Sisters, we got to come together and we got to seek help for our mental illness, okay? You guys have to. You have to. You have to. I want to say hello to my mom. Love you, Mom. I really do. I can't imagine such a relationship with my mother. I don't know what it's like. Okay, I'm all over the place. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.